Hello my little angels and welcome to today's video. I'm here to talk about a stunning fantasy romance that I've recently read and absolutely ate up. So this is Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport, who you may be familiar with from the book The Blood Trials, or actually I think it's a duology. I've yet to read it, but this is a whole new world, high stakes, political plot, black phase, royalty. It's fantastic. This is a powerful magic, enemies to lovers, political intrigue as we follow a warrior princess called Kadisha and a vengeful king called Malachi from rival Fae courts create a fierce alliance to take down a merciless despot called Richard. This was fantastic. So basically everything goes down in this main kind of narrative where Kadisha is being forced to marry Richard, who is like this crazy dictator guy of the whole land, and he is hell-bent on getting the northern kingdoms and breaking them down to sort of morph them into him being this high king of the whole kingdom, right? However, he's also keen to get Kadisha wedded and bedded because she has this prophecy overhanging her that basically whoever obtains her will be granted this firstborn son heir with great potential, great magic, and the High King will become the High King of the whole kingdom, right? So that's the goal, and he is diabolical, he's awful, and basically everything goes down during this horrible sort of sham wedding where the courts are seized, murders, awful things take part, and then Kadisha is basically whisked away to the northern realm as a sort of trophy, but there's more to it than that. I don't really want to go in too much depth. I feel like some parts that I'm seeing aren't detailed enough, others are a bit too over detailed, so hopefully that kind of just gives you a little bit of a more rounded picture of what Our Vicious Oaths is about. So let's get on to the review. Of course, speaking so highly of it already, probably no surprise that I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. We're into this. I want to give a quick thank you to Hear Our Voices book tours, who I was on the book tour for, and I did like a little playlist for the story, and also was able to get a digital e-arc from them too, so very kind of them. I felt like I poured every sort of emotion I could have into this book. Reading it, it sucked it out of me, and I was very willing to give it, let me just be clear, this was an easy 5-star read for me. It was a lengthy one in more ways than one but every word written dripped with promise, anticipation, arrogance, desire, fear, as I say, basically every feeling that you could nourish your soul with, right? What has given us is something that I've really truly adored. We have a smoking hot romantasy with a lot of spice, but it's all beautifully done, trust me. We've got black main characters, smoking hot fae with drool-worthy shadow daddy powers in our kind of love to hate and hate to love male protagonist. We have a stunning badass princess in front of it all, tangled up in this fraught royal political game with tensions running high and an impending war at the door. So the fae that we have in this story kind of remind me of like a fae vampire hybrid in terms of the ferocity and like their canines and just kind of aesthetically, and I really enjoyed that depiction of them because it kind of brought you back to what fae and, you know, the good folk are supposed to be, which are feral and unpredictable and savage, really. And I think having that as our main kind of like magical creature, I guess you'd say, in a world of high civilization, you know, political intrigue, all of that, it just added to the detail. And oh my gosh, these people are like battling royal pressures and entanglements with, you know, neighboring realms and kings and queens, but they could just snap like that at the same time and do quite a lot of damage, especially with the powers that they all have, which are all unique depending on kind of where they are in the kingdom. So I really enjoyed that. I thought it added this more, you know, savage edge that is often forgotten, I think, in a lot of fae driven stories these days. I don't know, it's usually all about the sexy appeal, and I love that, but I want to hear a little bit more to do with the danger and the unpredictability of them as beings, you know. Everything about this was absolutely divine. I in particularly loved the female empowerment that we had, not only in our main protagonist as Khadijah being a strong princess in her right, very opposed to injustice within her community and the outside community, but we also are shown this in Khadijah's squadron of all-female dragon flyers. Like, they are so cool, so awesome, and they get shit done. Like, they are renowned across the realm as being the line of defense that gets shit done in their army, and it was fantastic to hear about and to read about. I also really loved that difficult conversations and difficult testing relationships within family was discussed. Khadijah in particular, again, doesn't have the best relationship with both her king dad and her concubine mother. There's a lot of dynamics. It is a lot of what can I get out of you, what manipulative tactics can I use on you to kind of get me ahead of the game, and that is seen across the whole story. Everything is so well calculated, and there's a different motive driven behind it, right? And Khadijah just doesn't want that. She just wants people to be upfront, and you know what you're getting, but also she understands that she's in this world as a princess with a prophecy hanging over her head that means that not everybody is going to be so upfront with you, right? And then on the flip side of that, you've got Malachi, who is our shadow daddy, and his parents were brutally murdered in front of him. He trusts no one. He has a very difficult time enlisting the little trust that he does have, and those are towards, his very tight inner circle. He is known as being super fearsome, almost like a tyrant king, but there is another side to him, and it's one that I absolutely loved to see as the story developed. I really enjoyed that we had a queer normative world here as well. We had quite a few side characters that were within the LGBTQIA plus bracket, and it was just beautiful depiction, very normative, very natural. I don't necessarily think there's going to be a sequel. I definitely feel that there is an open door there for Davenport to kind of explore more. For example, I would really love some sort of novella or something about the merfae, because that was mentioned in passing, and I was like, there's mermaid versions, this is so cool. And I feel like that would be really complex and interesting too. But also, I feel like this world could really be expanded. It just felt like the story was wrapped up, and I think maybe if the author wanted to go back at another stage later in life, there's definitely room for that. But as it stands, this does feel like its own standalone thing. Anyway, that is it for this video. I didn't want to ramble a hell of a lot, so I kind of cut it down a little bit. I feel like I could talk so much about the different plot points, the characters that we had, the structure, the hierarchy of the political games that they're playing, but I don't want to go into too many spoilers, and I don't want to get too overexcited that I start making little sense. So with that, I'll thank you very much for watching, and I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye.